Hello, everyone. So thank you for joining today. I've got a Mechano Wyrm review. He's a new auto cover that'll be released soon. But is he a new king for auto cover? Let's find out. And also, I'll be covering a DQ8 reminiscence and Blossom units. I've previously shown them monthly update, but I want to update you what I think of them now. Joining me today, though, is Dapper P, who's agreed to join me today. So you can say hello.
Hello, it is Dapper Pickle. What's going on, guys? I'm here with Ortega, and we're about to discuss some nice things with Mechano Wyrm. Hope you guys enjoy.
Yeah, thanks for agreeing to join me. So tell me, Dapper, what you said you would be pulling for Mechano Wyrm. What really attracted you to kind of pull for it?
I like Mechanical Wyrm. I call him Mechanical Wyrm. Some people are going to call him Mechano Wyrm. I mean, it's entirely up to you, but I like Mechanical Wyrm because it flows off the tongue. But I like the idea of having auto covers in the game. It just brings some type of level of strategic in DQ
Yeah,
TAC. There's a reason why they call it DQ TAC because it's a tactician game.
yeah,
I think the onslaught of blitz units into the game is getting kind of stale.
yeah,
I would like more auto cover units, and
yeah.
I know it's going to be a different video, but I know there's a unit called Booga coming out that's going to be anti auto cover. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, there's going to be quite a few covers coming out, isn't it?
yeah, that's a different video, different topic.
Yeah.
But the reason why I like Mechanical Wyrm is uh it's just so much utility, even at Awakening 1. The fact that he can auto cover um and
With
apply
additional
cover
skills and stuff.
and also apply cover, which is really strong.
Yeah.
Um and once you get to Awakening 3, he can pretty much paralyze enemies.
Yeah.
Um laying down that debuff and hate throughout uh throughout the arena is really terrifying, and this is the type of unit people should be looking out for.
Yeah. So let's look at the actual kit in line by line, and we can discuss more. So before I do that, though, just usual disclaimer: this information is based off JP version of DQT, so please use this or trust it with a caution. So Dapper, you pretty much cover the spec of Mechano, but I'm gonna just read out one by one. So first of all, he's like a very rare preemptive auto cover. This is I think fourth one in the game. He's got a Fritz Zam weaknesses and a strong against Sizz Bang resistance. He can. I think one of the key features of him is that he can reapply cover, whereas like previous Forest Dragon or Rose Guardian, once they lose the cover with a status ailment, that was it. But with him, he can apply the cover again, so which is a really key differentiator, I would say. As Dapper mentioned, he does gain a paralysis body. So if he gets hit by a physical or martial and survives, he has a chance of paralyzing enemy. He's got like two kits of attacks. So one is a whoosh single target. It's quite a long, versatile range. So this is a bit similar to Forest Dragon, but it's a single hit. But it does come with the added effect of paralysis. He also has a little bit like the original Mech Dragon martial attack, which also creates a tile that reduces move. And then also he gains a preemptive bounce. Just talking about his weaknesses, he's weak to curse and stun, and then curse we don't need to worry about. So it's more the stun really. And then he's immune to paralysis. Confusion of sleep is an average resist, so need to be mindful of that. So those are the kind of key things that I've picked up of Mechano Wyrm. Do you have anything to add, Dapper?
No, that was what nicely well done.
No, cool. And also I created mostly especially for Dapper because he was pulling for Mechano, but I created a kind of comparison to the previous auto covers. So I'm gonna read out one by one, but this is basically a max awaken stat. So for pre-released auto covers. So first of all, in terms of HP comparison, here Ashlyn wins, but only by a small margin to versus a Mechano or Forest Dragon. And I think Mechano and Forest Dragon, you know, their HP is pretty much similar. And Rose Guardian obviously is slightly behind. In terms of defense, though, he's got the highest defense of the four, so that's really good. He will be stronger as against physical attack in general. In terms of damage reduction, all auto covers provide 20% of damage reduction. But with Mechano Wyrm, he's got a skill that it can auto, you know, reapply the cover, but you can use that to increase the damage reduction percentage. So that's an advantage, I would say, of Mechano Wyrm. And next one, I think this is the key, I would say, kind of stats of auto covers. And it's a reason why we don't see many Ashlyns is that, you know, she's got like basically too high weight of 60. And this is also the other reason why we are seeing Rose Guardian a lot is that he's just so cost efficient in terms of auto cover. And the auto covers generally their purpose is to be the first to die. So, you know, cost efficient, you know, weight efficiency is a really significant key feature in that regards. Obviously, Rose Guardian wins. What do you think of that, Dapper? I think you know, Mechano is in good position, but I think my thinking is like, you know, does it provide a, you know, enough advantage over Rose Guardian? Because like 15 weight is a lot when you considering in like PvP contents, right?
Yes, Rose Garden is very efficient, and it's kind of like the marquee auto cover unit, just because of the point differential. Doesn't have the monstrous stats like Mechanical Wyrm, Forest Dragon, and Ashlyn. However, you just get so much utility off of Rose Garden. That being said, I do like Mechanical just because he can lay out a bunch of debuffs. Not only that, he also has a move called Gale Force Orb that also paralyzes too. So,
Yeah, no,
just
he's
a
definitely versatile, isn't it?
yeah, he's really versatile, and
Mm.
some people are going to think twice on attacking him, but they need to attack him, especially if he's covering somebody of importance, quote unquote, mage pop.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think, you know, I listed out other features at the bottom, which I think you alluded to a bit. So I think the Mechano Wyrm's kind of key different selling point, I'd say, is the bounce, the starting bounce, which also lasts 3 turns, and the fact that he can cover again. So it's not like you can do like sweet breath and deal with it and be done with it. It's, you know, it can be like basically cured and like covered again, etc. So that's a huge advantage, I would say, on top of other things that you mentioned. The key selling point of Forest Dragon, I think, is the AoE damage reduction, alongside many others I listed here. Rose Guardian, key selling feature, I would say, is that weight, but he does come with a, you know, defense buff, and I didn't know about this, but I had to remind myself. But he does have a like a very small chance of increasing defense. So theoretically, like he can have a like probably highest defense amongst the all four auto covers after buff. The problem is his HP is just a bit too low for that to matter, so we probably didn't notice. Ashlyn's got like all the bells and whistles, but just that real drawback is that 60 weight, I would say. So yeah, I think all in all, I think Mechano Wyrm is in good position in terms of the weight and the balance and all the, you know, debuffs and the added features that Dapper mentioned. So let's look at the weaknesses and resistance. So Mechano Wyrm is weak to Frizz and Zam, and you know, resisting Sizz and Bang. So I think that's a really good combination right now because there aren't really that many strong Zam attackers. There are good, frizz attackers, but that's kind of common amongst all three usable auto covers. So yeah, I think it's a good resistance to have. Would you agree, Dapper? Do you have any comments on the resistance side?
I definitely do agree. Having half resistance on Sizz and Bang allows you to resist Ana Lucia. You know, she has a
Hmm.
really strong single target Sizz damage attack, and the fact that you can resist that will make it a lot better,
Yeah,
especially defending against Ana Lucia.
yeah,
The fact that she can't even use her spells against you, and she can't really use her Sizz attack, even though that's probably her only move she can do against Mechanical Wyrm, is a
yeah,
big is a big plus. And
yeah.
plus, if you're at Awakening 4, you'll be heavy resisted to Sizz and Bang.
Exactly. And the other thing I was thinking with Mechano Wyrm is that it's great that he has a bang resistance. So bad news for me because I've got five awakening Sarah Manslayer, but he'll be good protection against Sarah the Manslayer, which is all too common right now.
Oh yes, Sorrow the Manslayer is pretty much like a auto slot in many RTA teams.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I think resistance wise it's really good. Obviously Ashlyn is in a unique position, so you would want to use her, but obviously the weight is the problem. So yeah, it's good. Again, Mechano's got good resistance, etc. Having said that, I did add this slide just to also warn people a little bit that the ZAM is going to become quite a popular element in moving forward, and that's mostly due to the introduction of S-Dark, budget option for RTA moving forward, and he has an AoE ZAM attack that can probably one-shot a Mechano. I've also added here the new hero from DQ5. He's got like a Medrol like breath, as spammable. Also Rex is he called in JP. He's got like an AoE typeless and he resists paralysis even on the paralysis what do you call the paralysis body. So Ladja is another good PvP unit that's coming out. He has he does have an AoE typeless that has a pull effect a little bit like Sarah Manslayer. And I reviewed Barbarous and that he has a Zambra. So lots of unit anti Mechano that's coming. So just be mindful that's the. So what do I think of Mechano in terms of should you pull? I think if you got enough budget to get him to Awakening 3 or better, then he's kind of definitely usable and would have a bit more higher HP than Rose Guardian, but it's especially for people who doesn't have a high awakening on Forest Dragon, then he's a really you would want to invest on him rather than trying for more for Forest Dragon, I would say. Especially and also he's pretty much a PvP RTA unit, so it's if you want to do well on those. So altogether, I think Mechano Wyrm is a really good auto cover to have. I think the downside I would say is the cost of getting him Awakening 3 or even 5. You know, is that enough of upgrade if you already got, say, Max Awakening Forest Dragon? So that's the question that I think people need to answer by themselves. Would you agree with those views, Dapper? What do you have anything to add to that, or
Oh yeah, I absolutely agree with all those points. Mechanical Wyrm is definitely a unit. If you do not have Rose Garden or
mhm,
Forest Dragon, it's something that you should pull. Unlike if you was me, I already have all those units. It's just the
but
fact
still
that
want to pull?
I still want to pull because I love the tactical feel about
Yeah,
Mechanical Wyrm, and I just like wreaking havoc in the RTA, and
yeah.
it's just gonna surprise a lot of people. So
That that's good. I like that. Much like we use pop a lot, and let's face it, Pop is not like a top tier unit, but we have a lot of fun with it, and we win quite often enough, I would say. So yeah, I think going with a unit you like and trying to figure out a strategy with it is rather than go for like a top better unit and just copy strategy. I think it's the way to enjoy as well. So I really like that,
Oh yeah,
decision or your choice.
absolutely. And a caveat to that, a lot of people take Dragon Quest Tac really seriously, and me personally, I just like having fun. I don't
Yep.
care about the strongest unit in the game. I just care about having fun and see what I can do
No, I like that
tactfully.
style.
So
Definitely
um,
good. Definitely
it
good.
allows me to go through. Some people get hurt and don't want to play this game anymore, and I do understand. But
Yeah.
I
No, I
just
fully agree.
I just like the way how this game looks. I like the many different types of units that they throw at us,
Hmm.
and even if they're not popular, I kind of
You just
tend to
go
stick
for it.
with that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I really like that style, personally. So, yeah, best of luck in pulling Mechano. Um, yeah, so I just added at the bottom, watch out for snooze and confuse, and obviously stun. And an enemy that has a very good AoE freeze or Zam attackers, including S-Dark, but also typeless attacks with example Rex. So yeah, but I think it's definitely very good unit to go for. And I want to close this video with just looking at DQC Blossom units. So this is really pretty much a slide I've shared in my monthly update from JP, but I just want to update my additional thoughts, what I think of them now as versus before. So let's look at one by one. So Jessica, I've rated around 3.5 to 4, but I would say she's more nearer to 3. And the reason is, sadly, we're not seeing much of her in PBE. But I think, if her elements work out, I think it still has a mega boss potential, which is really good. Angelo, I rate him quite high. I've marked down a little bit, just because, I've seen all the greatest units came out in the anniversary, and I think he reduced his value very quickly. Also, it looks like his agility is much lower than young Terry, so that's the real drawback, that apparently people are not choosing him in the PB, etc. So I've rated him still good, 3.5. And the last one is Yangus. I rated him quite low previously, but he's actually pretty good, from what I hear, as a budget option for a lot of people. So I rated him up to 3, and I added an edit comment at the bottom. Basically, he's got a stun ability, which basically does no damage. It's a martial attack, but it's also a sure hit, for that reason. And unit that's coming out, Ladger, is weak to stun, so you're going to be needing a lot of stun options. And if you don't have too many, he's got 4 move and ability to stun AoE. So some people have been using him as an option if you don't have like a full box of Whaley units, basically. So that's my current view after seeing how it panned out in JP. Dapper, do you have any thoughts on any of these units? Were you planning on blossoming any of these?
It's unfortunate that my Angelo is only Awakening 0. Um, so I might not blossom him, maybe eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if we get maybe a anniversary and I get lucky on the Angelo, I'll probably
Yeah.
blossom him then. But yeah, sadly, I don't have high awakenings on Jessica or Angelo, which is unfortunate. But
Yeah.
Yangus does seem promising. I might awakening him.
Yeah.
He has a pretty good stun. Not a lot of units have stun, and it's sure hit, so he's definitely going to do some damage on that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
Besides
I
that,
might reconsider about my choice on Yangus. So I'll probably park Jessica. My Angelo's Awakening 1, but I might wait, blossom him, and even consider Yangus. But I'll think about it a little bit, to be honest, until see a need. But yeah, I'll say Angelo's, he needs to be Awakening 1, I think. And the good thing with him is because he's mostly a buffer, that he can be usable at low awakening. So yeah, worth considering, even if you get Awakening 1 in the kind of some of these kind of special banners.
oh yeah, absolutely. Angelo has a fantastic blossom. However, what Angelo has, Kirill should have had. Kirill blossom is terrible, and I feel like Kirill got robbed.
Couldn't agree. Yeah, couldn't agree. I disagree with that for sure.
I honestly think he should have had Angelo's blossom. To be honest with you, Angelo has so much damaging spells, and the fact that he gets all this acting like young Terry minus the agility
Yeah,
is absolutely nuts. So
yeah, he's still
whoever has
definitely good.
Awakening 5 Angelo is going to have a great time.
Yeah, I would say so as well. But yeah, so that's our current view on the DQ6 Blossom unit. So let's look forward to them. And that concludes video. So Dapper, once again, thank you for joining. It was nice having you as an avid Mechano Wyrm fan, and good to get your view as well.
My
And
pleasure.
if anybody's looking to pull for him, best of luck.